Good evening, I'm Wendy Davis.
And I'm Rob Vaughn. A massive storm has marched across the Northeast, and we have you covered on the snow that's covering us.
Seems I-78 has become PennDOT's top priority again. Portions of the highway were shut down by high winds and blowing snow this afternoon.
WFMZ's Melissa Batulis is live in Greenwich Township, Berks County, with the latest. Melissa.
Well, guys, you can see behind me, this portion of I-78 is still open. Traffic is moving just fine, but it's about an exit away where the closure begins. And about a half an hour ago, we learned that PennDOT extended that closure in the eastbound lanes. It now goes from the Charlottesville exit to Route 61. Westbound, I-78 is closed from Lenhartsville to Charlottesville. And the issue here is not the quantity of snow. We really didn't get that much. We're talking about the quantity of snow, or the quality. Let's get this right. It's the quality that we're worried about. See how this stuff blows in the wind? That is what PennDOT is most concerned about tonight.
And we'd rather have an inconvenience and have people be delayed than have people wind up in wrecks out on highway.
This morning, a series of crashes, including this one involving several tractor trailers, sounded the alarm. By 10 a.m., the eastbound lanes of I-78 were shut down, with westbound soon to follow. And that's how it would stay throughout the day.
Interstate 78 east and west is currently closed between exits 23 and 35. That's between Charlottesville and Lenhartsville.
The irony of the situation is that the roadways are mostly clear.
Conditions did get bad out there. There were whiteout conditions. It really wasn't due to conditions on the road surface. Conditions were pretty much wet out there, but there was visibility was very, very poor, probably as poor as it could get.
Even on the open portions of highway, PennDOT and the Pennsylvania State Police have temporarily reduced the speed limit to 45 miles per hour.
It's important that people slow down because part of the reason why some of the crashes may have occurred could be speed.
Just so we're all clear one more time, I-78 is closed in the eastbound lanes from Charlottesville to Route 61, the westbound lanes from Lenhartsville to Charlottesville. No word on when that road will reopen, but we'll check back with you within the next half hour. We are live in Greenwich Township, Berks County. I'm Melissa Batulis, 69 News.
Thanks, Melissa.
Kind of cold out there. It's tough to talk.
Very true.
The snow is still blowing, and it's making a mess of other roads in the area.
That's right. Let's check in with Rick Edwards now for the very latest. Rick.
All right. Here in the Lehigh Valley area, we have no reported problems on the major highways. Actually, lighter than normal traffic volume as we take a look here on 22 past Shanersville Road and 378. Here's the view at Airport Road. With no big, hey, we catch a plane passing by. Thank you very much. With no big backups on the westbound side approaching the Lehigh River Bridge. And the light traffic volume, maybe I shouldn't go on and on about it. I'm going to jinx it, but we do feel fortunate that everything is moving nicely through Allentown, Bethlehem, and Easton. Now, with the snow blowing across the roadways, you might have some instances where it freezes again. Of course, we're going to have that kind of worry during the overnight hours. Ed will talk more about the weather and the chances for that to happen. And we'll review Melissa's report about 78. We'll see what happens by the time 5:30 rolls around. We do have some accidents working in the area. Mock Chunk Road near Seiple Station Road on the border of Whitehall Township, and at Shantz Road and Independence. This is right along Hamilton Boulevard, the very end of Route 863, an accident in Upper Macungie Township. Also a crash on Buckeye Road, has Buckeye Road shut down in Lower Mac. This is east of Macungie Borough out to Brookside Road. Buckeye Road is closed, so a slight detour in that area. As you can see, 22 and 78 run swell through the area. And no problems up and down the turnpike on the long ride to the Poconos or to Philadelphia. That's a traffic report brought to you by BrownDobb.com, where you can search the new and used car inventory. Reputation is everything at Brown Dobb. Back downstairs now to Wendy.
Thank you, Rick. And we're going to continue our storm coverage now with WFMZ's Jaccii Farris. She has more on how the Lehigh Valley handled this latest wintry blast.
The Monday morning commute started out a little slick in some spots, but after 3 steady hours of snowfall, MacArthur Road in Whitehall Township turns into slush city. Drivers are a little more cautious as the wind whips the snow through the streets.
It's a little slick. Some of the roads aren't too bad. They've salted and cindered, so it's just a little wet. It was pretty slick. Pretty hard to drive.
When the wind subsided, folks in Allentown, like the rest of the valley, got out the snow shovels, clearing sidewalks so people like Martin Lynch could get around.
I'm going to walk, and I'm going to try to walk in the street facing the traffic if I can. That way I know what's coming at me.
Lynch says what he'd like to see headed his way is warmer weather. Kyle and Pierce GM Portone agree. They're off of school, but would rather be doing something other than watching the snow blow around.
Play like football or something outside because it's just too cold.
Over in Catasauqua, Artie Fisher is getting her exercise.
Good boy.
No matter what the weather, Benji has to go.
He loves to run in it. I think he just likes it falling, you know? But yeah, no, nothing stops him from going out.
It's a storm many say they were glad to see blow through the area. Hopeful it will be the last before spring comes. In Whitehall Township, Jaccii Farris, 69 News.
Spread that stuff. Spreading the salt, shoveling sidewalks, also the name of the game in Easton today. This was the scene in the Center Square area. Plows were out trying to keep those roads clear. But who says you need heavy machinery to get the job done? These little guys put their mittens on and pitched in. They are
good job.
moving a lot of snow.
Yes, they are.
A winter weather advisory for the Lehigh Valley was lifted about an hour ago.
That's right. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Ed Hanna now for what is ahead. Ed.
Thanks so much. Yeah, and the winter storm warning for our southern counties, that also was lifted and expired as of 4 o'clock. Quickly off to the Galileo. Got lots to talk about here. A couple of different waves. As you know, after 9, 10 o'clock last night, many of you started seeing that first batch of snow that was well up over New England. But take a look over the past 12 hours. Then it tapered off about 1, 2 a.m. and just kind of didn't do a whole lot. We were in between, had a lull, and started picking back up 6, 7, 8 o'clock this morning, depending on where you happen to be. You can see how that moved up and through our area. That was, by and large, where we got the bulk of the precipitation. Give you an idea, how much did we get? And I thank you. We've got so many emails. Bethlehem, 4 inches. Keep in mind, ranges. Even in some particular areas, we are seeing wide ranges. 4 inches in Bethlehem, Allentown, 4. Boyertown, 7. Coatesville, clearly the further south and east you go in our viewing area, that's where we saw the heavier amounts. Percy, 9.5. King of Prussia, 5.8. Reading, 4.2. Wilmington, 9.7. Some places in New Jersey where we saw some of the higher amounts, 9.4 in Clinton. White House, 6.9. Stewartsville, New Jersey, 8.9. Philadelphia, 8.3. The bullseye, the highest amount we've seen, was Belleville in Ocean County, New Jersey, where you had 13 inches of snow. That's what we had, and we'll tell you what, the big deal tonight is the wind. A lot of blowing, a lot of drifting. 6-day forecast coming up.
All right, Ed, thanks very much. We'll have much more on how the area is dealing with the winter weather coming up at 5:30 and 6. And remember, you can tune into the AccuWeather channel anytime for the latest forecast updates. And be sure
on the busy highway.
Whiteout conditions and a series of crashes have made traffic a slow go today, and in many spots a no-go in northern Berks County. WFMZ's Melissa Batulis is live once again in Greenwich Township with the latest. Melissa?
Well, guys, we have a little bit of good news, a little bit of bad news from the last half hour. Let's start with the bad news. Get it out of the way. Traffic is starting to slow here on I-78 in the westbound lanes near exit 40. This section of highway is open, but I'm told the traffic is slowing because of the highway being closed further down. Now, the good news is that Interstate 78 eastbound is now open at this hour. All lanes in the eastbound section of Interstate 78 are open at this hour. That's what PennDOT's telling us. They also have told us that they've changed the closure in the westbound lanes from Fogelsville to Strausstown. So that section of the highway is still closed due to blowing snow and visibility issues.
It's all dependent on the weather, and we can't control the time of the weather. So it's until we're confident that everything's wrapped up with this storm.
Until then, PennDOT officials say it's a no-go for traffic on Interstate 78 in Berks County. The highway is closed between Lenhartsville and Charlottesville westbound. This crash was just one of the incidents that prompted the closure this morning.
The real concern here is the visibility and the snow squalls, again, with the wind pushing more snow across the road, causing visibility issues.
Even drivers on the open portions of 78 are being asked to slow down to avoid further problems.
On the other parts of Interstate 78, we've reduced the speed limit to 45 miles per hour for everyone's safety as well.
Now, you have to bear with us. Things are constantly changing out here. We're constantly getting updates. So just so we're clear again, the westbound lanes of I-78 are closed from Fogelsville to Strausstown. That has changed within the last couple minutes. The eastbound lanes completely open at this hour. We'll check back in at 6 o'clock. For now, we are live in Greenwich Township. I'm Melissa Batulis, 69 News, Berks Edition.
All right, we'll see you soon. Thanks, Melissa. Well, a car landed on its roof, snarling traffic on Route 422 West in Reading this morning. The wreck happened by the Lancaster Avenue interchange. You can see the car on its roof right there. And we're told the driver of the car was able to get out of the vehicle on his own. Both westbound lanes were closed at Interstate 176 for about an hour and a half. Still no word on the driver's condition tonight.
Now a check on the commute in Berks County.
That's right. Let's head upstairs to Rick Edwards in the traffic center.
All right, guys. During our updates during the afternoon, we told you that they might do this, shut down westbound 78 here at Fogelsville, Route 100. And there you go. Melissa told you. And this is the view now. Everybody off at Route 100. So this is going to affect related roadways, 100, the Jandal Highway. Shantz Road is going to feel it. So all in the Macungie area, we're going to have extra traffic because of this interstate closure again. Westbound closed off at Route 100. This is because of the heavy congestion that's been building up because of the closure at Lenhartsville. Melissa told you backed up to where she was at Crumsville. That's 5 miles of backed up traffic on westbound 78. So they're going to relieve some of that congestion by not letting anyone else get out that way until they clear things up. So the closure will remain that way into the evening hours, and we are a little worried about the snow that's blowing across the highways and hitting the wet pavement during the refreeze here as the temperatures continue to fall. We'll talk more about that with Ed. But again, here at 178 westbound shut down, and Melissa already told you as well, eastbound 78 is open now. All lanes open. It might take a while for that congestion to break up as well. 422, 724, 222, all running with typical volume through the area. Quick look at the Warren Street bypass. Not bad at all here in northwest Reading. That's your traffic report. Please buckle up, drive safely. Back downstairs now to Rob.
Okay, Rick, thanks very much. The snow fell in wide ranges across Berks County today. Cars were moving at a slow pace in Coomeroo Township earlier because the snow made those roads really slick really fast. Came down at a good clip, but only left a few inches on the ground in these parts. A lot more snow on the ground, though, in Morgantown. As you can see, the area got about 7.5 inches of snow. Boyertown also got a good coating from today's winter storm. Now, the latest on the messy start to March and the cold night ahead. Here's Chief Meteorologist Ed Hanna.
So much. The first wave last night, as we moved on through into the early morning hours, didn't really affect a whole lot of folks in the Berks County area. We had that lull during the overnight, and then we talked about the snow throughout the course of the day today. Picked up in many parts of our area 6:30 to 8:30 in the morning, continued throughout the day. Some of it heavy at times. You can see the bulk of the heavy snow continues to push away from our area. Take a look here, just the past 6 hours, you can see we had that little batch that brought a little bit of light flurries, even a snow shower there. But either way you look at it, I want to just give you a sense here, comparing where we are. Yeah, Boyertown 7 inches, Coatesville 7. You see up in Allentown, Bethlehem around 4. Again, depending on where you happen to be, downtown Reading was 4.2. Compare that with places like Perkasie and Wilmington, 9 to 10 inches. So a little bit further, not far, to the south and east, we saw higher amounts of snow. The big story tonight, blowing wind. Going to cause drifting and blowing of that snow with 15 to 25-mile-an-hour winds, gusts exceeding 30. So be aware of that. We're going to have slippery conditions, especially in those areas where drifting is the worst. 6-day forecast, bone-chilling cold coming up.
All right, Ed, thanks very much for the update. And if you'd like to get up-to-the-minute weather conditions anytime, just tune in to the 69 News AccuWeather channel. You'll find the AccuWeather channel on 247 on Comcast Digital and Channel 20 on Service Electric.
The special election to fill state senate were shut down today.
Tonight, 2 of those 4 are fully open. The biggest exception, I-78 in Berks County.
And WFMZ's Melissa Batulis is joining us live once again from Greenwich Township with the very latest from out there. Melissa.
All right, Rob and Wendy, here's the deal right now. All eastbound lanes of I-78 have reopened. PennDOT has confirmed that for us. On the westbound side, it remains closed from Fogelsville to Strausstown. So eastbound reopened, westbound closed from Fogelsville to Strausstown. Now let's take a little bit of a look at what caused this problem earlier this morning. PennDOT reports several crashes in both the east and westbound lanes. That shut down the entire highway from Lenhartsville to Charlottesville until until around 5 o'clock this afternoon when things started to reopen piece by piece. Now, PennDOT officials tell me the issue was blowing snow and reduced visibility. They say actually throughout it all, the highway condition itself was not that bad. Now, one thing that does remain in effect tonight is the reduced speed limit. It's 45 miles per hour on I-78 throughout Berks County, and I'm told that state police are out and enforcing that. We are live in Greenwich Township tonight. I'm Melissa Batulis, 69 News.
All right, thanks, Melissa. A mangled mess of metal brought traffic to a standstill in Carbon County. This is the scene on I-80 in Kidder Township today. Two big rigs were involved in this pileup. One dumped containers of orange juice all along the highway. Both drivers were hurt in this crash, and one lane of I-80 still remains closed at this hour.
And traffic's running smoothly after tie-ups on two other major highways. The westbound lanes of the Schuylkill Expressway outside Philadelphia were shut down because of a jackknifed tractor trailer here. Another crash closed down the northbound lanes of Interstate 81 in Schuylkill and Luzerne counties. Here in the Lehigh Valley, it was a slow go all morning long. Many roads, including MacArthur Road here in Whitehall Township, were covered with snow and slush. Some people we spoke with say the drive was manageable. Still others steered clear of their cars.
Around today.
I'm going to walk, and I'm going to try to walk in the street facing the traffic if I can. That way I know what's coming at me.
Many people are crossing their fingers and hoping this is the last blast from Old Man Winter this season.
Well, some parts of our region were hit harder than others. Up to 7 inches fell in parts of Bucks County. WFMZ's Bo Koltnow has our report from there.
The winter weather turned piles of snow into a man-made Mount Everest in Doylestown, Bucks County.
This is probably the worst in their storm so far.
Gary Riley started his snow plow at 3 this morning.
How's it been from 3 o'clock until now?
Pretty hectic. It's been got it all plowed, taken care of, and then started snowing again, so it's just another mess.
The relatively hassle-free early morning commute in Upper Bucks turned wet and slick by mid-morning in Central Bucks. For Raymond Parker, that meant clearing his car for a snowy trip to Washington, D.C.
I love it. I really do.
What do you like about it?
It's just the beauty of nature.
The beauty of nature turned ugly for some drivers as several accidents were reported this morning. By noon, the streets of Doylestown were a mix of snow and sleet, but apparently not bad enough to keep people from their morning cup of joe.
I work at a coffee shop right down the road, and we actually are pretty full right now. A lot of people that are just trying to get in off the streets.
Central Bucks schools were closed, but at least for these girls, that meant homework of a different sort.
So what's better, studying or shoveling?
Taking a quiz.
Taking a quiz is better than this? So you would rather be in school?
Yes.
How come?
I don't know. I like school. I like learning.
Spring may be only 3 weeks away, but it appears that winter is still marching on. In Bucks County, Bo Koltnow, 69 News.
Well, digging out was the name of the game in New Jersey as well. Our cameras caught up with people braving the elements in Flemington, Hunterdon County. A little more than 5 inches fell there today. Other parts of Hunterdon saw nearly 10 inches.
The snow has come and gone, but what's in store for the rest of the night?
That's the big question. And for the answer, we're going to head over to Kathy Craine in the Weather Center.
All right. Thank you very much, Rob and Wendy, and good evening, everyone. I'll tell you what, we thank you very much for all of your totals that you phoned in. And we're going to get to the totals that we have so far at this point with Bethlehem at 4.0 inches, Allentown at 4.1. Again, these vary. We've had differentials all the way up to between 2 and 4 and 10 inches in the same county or within a few miles of one another. Boyertown, 7 inches. Coatesville at 7 inches. And our next slide shows that we do have Percy at 9, almost 10 inches in Percy. King of Prussia, 5.8. Reading, 4.2. 9.7 in Wilmington. Clinton at 9.4. White House, 6.9, and we do have Stewartsville at 8.9, Philadelphia at 8.3, and believe it or not, we had up to over a foot at the Jersey Shore, and they had to actually snowplow the boardwalk. That would have been a sight to see. Right now, our current winds, that's the other story that we're going to be telling you about later on tonight. Winds will continue to blow the snow over cleared roads, causing travel conditions and challenges throughout the evening hours as we flirt with record low temperatures, and that combined with the winds will give us very, very chilly weather. As far as wind chills, it's dangerous out there. How long will this cold snap continue? I'll have the very latest along with the AccuWeather 6-Day in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right. Thanks, Kathy. Well,